What's up, everybody? Sujan Patel here. Today I want to share with you a story on how we 10x'd linktexting.com, a company we acquired about 6 months ago. And this is part one. We're going to talk about the assessment and analysis of buying the company, building out from the MVP, understanding the customers, and so on. Stay tuned for more parts on this and how we actually grow the business. This is all about what we did in the first 6 months, which is a lot less marketing and a lot more product and understanding the business. So first and foremost, when we're looking at this business, we assessed all the different parts of the company. Linktexting.com is a SaaS business, and it was making a few $1,000s a month, actually around like a little under 100K ARR. And so we looked at the last 12 months and the 24-month period. We wanted to see how stable this company was. So we looked at churn, we looked at growth. Now, what about this company is it was flat for the last probably 18 months or so. So that to me is actually a good thing. That means it's consistent. I also looked at where traffic and leads were coming from. They had a good amount of direct traffic. They had a good amount of search traffic. They had churn, but I think it was solvable. Then we looked at the actual software. That is not necessarily my expertise, so I brought in my business partner. This is our first business we worked on together when we bought this company. He looked at the code. He looked at what we're actually buying and what we're getting, making sure that nothing we get is infringing on any trademarks or anything that's technically not legal. And a lot of times you don't know because it's just early stage founders are kind of a little naive and whatnot. So you kind of figure this out on the fly. But you have to look into this because it can cause a lot of issues. And we looked at the customer base. We looked at who their customers are. So they gave us access to Stripe. They gave us access to Profitwell, which they're using that's their SaaS analytics platform. And we looked at who is using the product, who's been on there for a long time. We actually ended up reaching out to a few customers and just picking their brains and what they thought about the product before we bought it. So that's what we did to assess the company before we got in. We liked it. We actually got a really good deal on it, so that definitely was icing on the cake. The first and foremost thing when we got the company, before doing anything, is figure out how to run the day-to-day operations and immediately start talking to customers. I man customer support. I actually still do. We don't get a lot. We only have a few hundred customers, so not a big deal. But I wanted to understand who my customers are. And what I did, or what that helped me do, is identify my customer persona. So we found out our customers are developers, they are product people, so like a VP of product, a product manager, what have you, and they're founders or CTOs, or founding CTOs. So they're small startups, they're product people at a large company, or they're a developer at any stage company. Again, I learned this from simply looking up people who I was talking to in support, looking them up on LinkedIn and whatnot. The next thing we did is find the company's weaknesses. If you're buying a company, they're going to have a lot of weaknesses. And that's actually a good thing for you because you can fix them and make it better. So we redid the website. Homepage was horrible. I think it was running off of like Instapage or something. So we made a real website. We redid the homepage, the about page, the pricing, because it wasn't clear what people were getting. We added a new sign-up flow because looking at the data and analytics, I found a big drop-off from when somebody attempts to sign up to when they actually sign up. Again, we redid the homepage because it better explained the value prop. Instead of what we do, we explain the value prop of what somebody would get by using the software. So that helped increase that conversion rate a bit, maximizing that traffic. We let it sit there for a while and make sure we knew what was happening. At the same time, we went back into the product itself and we polished it up. So the product when we bought it was very MVP. Great product, it functioned, but it just wasn't a very polished experience. So we looked at the UX here. And this is very, very important for me personally because all of my SaaS companies, you'll see is a very good polished experience onboarding. It's very intentional. It's part of our marketing. In fact, our biggest marketing channel and growth opportunity for every single business is word of mouth. And that word of mouth comes from people interacting with our product and first-time experience. Number two is people loving the experience they get when they have problems, so customer support. And number three is onboarding and concierge onboarding specifically. And the last thing is the fact that they can reach out to me early stage, because we're early stage, I'm pretty active in a lot of conversations with customers via email or whatnot, social media. So again, those are the reasons the word of mouth works really well for us. And so I want to make sure those strengths that we have and we know for other SaaS companies, we apply to link texting. And that's exactly what we did. We added email nurture sequence for when someone signs up to help give them value. Again, not showing them how to use link texting. We show them the benefit from using link texting and the things you can do with the data that you get. And we also beefed up our API documentation. Again, we're dealing with CTOs, developers, product people. They're all more technical, right? They don't really care much about marketing. They care more about how they're actually going to take the link texting widget, a code or whatever, and apply it to their company or site. So we beefed up the documentation, and that alone increased our conversion rate. Again, we reduced churn by managing support and giving people what they need, and we created a more polished dashboard. One of the things the product was lacking was analytics and data, and so we built out these features and functionality. And we did no marketing while we did all this stuff. We wanted to see if with the visitors they had, which is about 50 visitors a day, to see what redoing the website would do, see what redoing the platform would do. Yes, it is the long game we're playing. It's a little bit more patience, but we sat there and waited to see what it did. We doubled our traffic. Why? Because we had better rankings. We had more people talking about us and recommending us, and that's it. That's all we did in the beginning. Then we started to prepare for our relaunch, link texting 2.0 we call it. So we kickstarted our social media efforts, got Q Promote and Q involved. So we have now good mobile marketing focused content going out there. We also started content marketing efforts. So we started blogging about it. So first and foremost, we created a blog. Link texting didn't have a blog, or actually it was on Medium, but that's not a part of our site. We want people to our site. We set up remarketing pixels and things like that to help people when they're not on our site, come back and remarket to them with value add content. Our brand, when we bought it, link texting was dead. So we needed to bring it back to life. So we did that with content marketing. And again, I did a lot more guest posts. It's no coincidence that I started talking more about mobile marketing at the time I bought link texting. Why? Because I want to advocate it. And I have an audience already. It's easier for me to advocate link texting on my blog versus their blog. So we started on my blog, sujanpatel.com, and then we moved on to link texting blog, and now we're regularly blogging. We're about 2 months in, actually 35 days in after our launch or relaunch marketing. So we got all that going, so it doesn't look like a dead brand. Then we prepared for a product hunt launch. Again, nobody knew about us. It was pretty dead, crickets, I swear. So we planned to relaunch on Product Hunt. Submitted to Product Hunt, got it featured on the homepage. We let everybody know to help us promote and market us at the time. And the next thing we did was cold email. So again, this is where we're at now. We're doing a lot of cold email to people who have mobile first products or mobile only, and they have potential for desktop traffic. So what link texting does is essentially it's an embeddable widget that goes on your desktop website or your website specifically for desktop so that you can people can text themselves. It's a little text box. And it will text you a link to the mobile app. And that is better than linking to the App Store or iOS. So we added some more product features like identifying what device you're on. So if you're on desktop, we show you the link texting widget. If you're on your mobile device, we take you straight to whatever app store that is relevant to you. Again, a little bit of product updates, but it was really more polishing and rounding out. Again, we knew our customers by talking to customer support. So we started figuring out who they are, found their email address, and started doing outbound cold emails to go find people that would potentially be interested. We also created a 10x piece of content. I'm following the playbook format, so I create a playbook for every single one of the companies, and we use it as an anchor piece to do cold email outreach. So we're sending people value-added information on how they can get their mobile app out there, and bam, it makes them aware of our app and our product and our company. We don't sell. we will then remarket to them with more content. At some point, we'll get them sales and sold because we don't want to sell and have a bad reputation early on. At some point, we'll get more aggressive, but this is what we've done so far in the last 6 months or so, 35 days into marketing. All right, guys, stay tuned for part 2 where I'm going to talk to you. And it's going to be in 6 months from now where I talk to you about the first 6 months of marketing and growth for a dead brand company that has around 100K ARR and how we're going to get it to about 500K ARR. All right, guys, till next time. And if you have any questions, leave it below. Take care.